Hi, I'm Dirk Friel, and this is Andrew Johnson. We're with TrainingPeaks, and we're here with Crowie Alexander. Most people know who this guy is, world Ironman champion, and hopefully get to the top of the podium again coming this October. So you're here in the TrainingPeaks Pain Cave doing a pretty intense workout today. So tell us about what today's workout was all about and what were you doing?
Well, I was doing some harder efforts. People refer to them as different things, VO2 max or top end. So what I tend to do is I spend about 4 months of the year at altitude, 4 or 5 months, and I typically arrive here in end of May, June with pretty good fitness. But towards the end of my stay here, I like to throw the oxygen on. It's called a supplemental oxygen session, and it just enables you to tap into more of a sea level intensity. So
right.
You actually see, it's reflected in your power output. You see usually an extra 15 or 20 watts
right.
for your efforts. So I did this session about 2 weeks ago, and it was averaging somewhere between 340 and 350 watts for the efforts. And today, I think we saw about a 15 or 20 watt improvement on that.
Yeah.
So mission accomplished for today, and I'll try and come back here in 2 weeks and do another one. And that should be enough, I think, just to bump the fitness up.
Yeah, so what's your next race?
Las Vegas, the World 70.3 Champs, which you're on in a month.
Yep. So this is really going to help you potentially either attack or bridge gaps or go over climbs. I mean, you're tapping into that type of effort, right?
All those things. I think, obviously, it's a non-drafting cycle portion of the race, so it's a steady state effort. But there's times where you may have to bridge up to a group after the swim, or if you're attacking to get away from the group, or through an aid station. And also, I think it also helps with your sustained threshold to do a set like this, or a couple of sessions like this, where you actually can bump your threshold up by doing shorter, more intense efforts. It serves a couple of purposes. There's a fair bit of race specificity there, because you do sort of put out those sort of power numbers during the race, and I think you need to prepare for that in training.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we're at 5,500 feet here in Boulder. Roughly that was about 5% higher watts. So it's roughly about 1% for every 1,000 feet above sea level. You lose your power output. Same on the run as well. Have you ever done anything like this on a treadmill?
I haven't. I know a lot of people who have, notably the short course guys. For the races I'm doing at the moment, obviously my 2 goal races coming up are Vegas and Kona. They're longer runs, and it comes towards the end of the race, there's not as much change in pace in that segment of the race, whereas in the bike in Vegas and Kona there's a lot of change of pace, particularly early in the bike. It's very tactical, and I think you need the ability to be able to put out and spike the heart rate and spike the power, and then settle back into your steady state threshold. I haven't done it on the run because I haven't found it necessary. Typically it is a true steady state effort in the run portion of the race in those 2 races.
Yeah. How often would you do this type of workout, and what phase of the training, training blocks would you do this?
Everybody's different. I like to do it towards the end of my time at altitude, because I think that's, I guess, one aspect of the training that's missing from when I'm at sea level. And I think it works well because when I come up here, I do a lot of training and obviously use the mountains, and I think I get very, very fit, and it's a good foundation to do something like that and just push, get the extra few percent that you're looking for. So typically I'll only usually do 2 or 3 of them throughout the course of the summer up here, and then towards the end of the time up here.
Yeah. Got any questions?
Well, I was going to ask you, in terms of doing these workouts, does that mean that you go down to sea level a lot later because you've done these sort of sea level type of workouts?
It enables you to do that, and I think it also enables you to schedule the races. Obviously, I'm going to be up here until the end of September, and then I'll go down 2 weeks before for Kona. But Vegas is 5 weeks before Kona, so I want to get some sea level intensity in while still at altitude. Go down, race. Well, Vegas is not at sea level, but it's a lot lower than here, and then come back up to put the finishing touches on the preparation for Kona. So I think it serves a few purposes. If you did have a goal race, you certainly could stay up at altitude and simulate some sea level intensity work, some real specific sessions that would help you perform at sea level, and then you could go down a lot later, which is the whole purpose really, and the reason you should come up here is to get the benefits using the altitude and then go down as late as possible. So I think it's just another string to your bow. You know, if you're smart at the way you schedule your season and also your workouts. You know, for the scheduling of my 2 goal races, the shorter one comes first, which is ideal, but that means I need to do some intensity, some higher intensity for it whilst at altitude. So it serves that purpose.
Getting the benefits of speed and altitude.
Absolutely.
So the other thing would be that this was a relatively short workout for you. It's a little over an hour on the bike, but a lot of quality in there. So does that help you in terms of also getting towards that that taper phase and really focusing on the quality and while tapering off on the quantity?
Well, absolutely. And I think another thing you need to be cognitive of is, you know, you do the workout with more oxygen as you would at sea level, but now I'm at altitude, I have to recover at altitude. So that's something I think you need to factor in and maybe take a couple of easier days afterwards. But yeah, absolutely. I mean a true VO2 max session, you know, it's not 60 minutes worth of effort. It's a lot less than that. You know, I did an easy ride this morning. I think I rode 35 miles and then rode down, so I had a good warm up, which I think you need to do when you're in a heavier volume phase, just to get the legs moving. I did a good warm up on the trainer before we launched into it, but yeah, it was really only 20 minutes of actual efforts.
High quality.
But
a lot of quality and you know, I factored in a lot of recovery. It was sort of 1-to-1 work ratio to rest recovery levels.
Yep. Nice. Well, good luck in Las Vegas, and we'll see you in October in Hawaii, and hopefully do it again on the podium.
Well, thanks for letting me use the pain cave today. I'll be back.
Thanks a lot.